It's time to talk a little Chelsea. Antonio Conte will be taking over as the main manager, head man, top gaffer, big boss at Chelsea, with Roman Abramovich still probably pulling the strings.
I thought Guus did a decent job.
Did a great job.
Yeah.
Considering that he took over a
relegated team.
He's sinking ship, man. That guy, he came in with life vests, lifesaver little mints to throw around. People just clinging on for anything to stay afloat. You get it?
Sense, yeah. That's good.
They're called polo mints in the UK.
Are they?
They're really nice. I like them a lot better. But he did a good job, and he's given Antonio Conte the infrastructure. But in typical Maxwell and Ruben fashion, we're going to rip that infrastructure and tell the Chelsea fans what they need to hear is that these are the players that you need to get rid of to start forward and go on to a more successful season. Let's see the list. So not as many as I had on Manchester City, and there is a couple in there that I could have put forward. The big shock will be the bottom one, which I'll get to. But Branislav Ivanovic, you do know that I've been ripping him inside out this season, along with every winger in the Premier League. Oscar thrived under Jose Mourinho and died under Jose Mourinho, because when Jose left, this guy just lost all lease of life, it seemed, at Chelsea, and abandoned all the small things that made him very useful last season. Like Remy, wasted talent, not doing anything. Pato, money signing just to sell jerseys, hasn't been given enough chance, just needless wages in there. And John Obi Mikel, who has been resurgent under Guus Hiddink, but here's the thing I need to tell you. You finished 10th. John Obi Mikel has been acceptable in that team.
That's pretty funny, actually.
But you finished 10th. He was acceptable amidst your just average performances. And he did a good enough job, because Matic was horrible, but I still have faith in Matic. You just don't lose that talent. You just don't lose that infrastructure and that ability that he had under Jose Mourinho. Same with Fabregas, which I was tempted to say, get rid of Cesc and bring in someone else.
No, I like Cesc.
No, I think that...
But I mean, what I like is not how they make their signings.
And it really depends on... Antonio Conte, by the way, the reason I said Ivanovic, Conte has often liked to go with the 3-5-2. I think that's suicidal in the Premier League, but a guy like Antonio Conte knows what he's doing, and he could well and truly go with that, and Ivanovic has to go. I was tempted to say Gary Cahill as well, but with John Terry on the fence whether or not he's going to stick around, I think that you need another centre-back. He's old. And they were going to let him go. And then the fans petitioned, I believe, protested, said that it's not right to do by your captain like that and have him go. So they're trying to get him another contract. And whether he stays around or not, it's still not the John Terry that we know and love. It's still not the John Terry that's going to be able to lead that back line to a returned level of success. You need a strong centre-back, similar to what I said with Man City.
Diego Costa. ...
Very,
question
very
mark.
interesting question.
Left out of Spain. It's just a name.
Yeah, it is, but it holds a lot of controversy.
Left
out of Spain.
Is he staying?
Left out of Spain.
Left out of Spain.
Declining numbers this season. I think he was scoring every 105 minutes last season, and if my stats are correct, it's in the 180s this season.
Not good.
He scored 20 goals in his first season. Was an immediate hit. Nightmare for defenders. Still a nightmare for defenders, but just that they think that he might lean in with a nice bite kiss, or whatever you want to say that was, against Gareth Barry.
Oh.
And the off-the-ball instances that were often part and parcel with what made Diego Costa a useful and versatile striker have now hindered his overall performance. He's more known for his stupid kicks off the ball, even though the red cards don't show it because he seems to get away with a lot. He's still just annoying in there to have on your team. He's not the star striker that he was last season. I personally wouldn't abandon him, because I still think that he's got everything that the Premier League needs in a striker. Talent, speed, aggression. You just need to get you need to get him happy. He needs to be happy. And I'm not saying build the whole team around Diego Costa's happiness, but he's too talented to abandon him in there. You can bring in another striker, like I said, very similar players that are going to be, as we know, flowing around the market. There'll be players that they'll just be flowing towards, Man City are going to make a bid, or Man United. They'll be going for the same pool of players.
So why male models?
Why male models?
But why male models?
You serious? I just told you that a moment ago.
Right.
Let's take a look at who some of those names might be for Chelsea, Francis.
Hit me with it. So these are the four that I think, and this is just a straight Premier League raid with one Roma star in there. So Nainggolan is a very Vidal-esque player, not just in his haircuts, but he works tirelessly in the midfield, and that is something that was desperately needed from Chelsea this season. Matic is too calm with Fabregas in there. They just kind of move, and they're used to that Jose Mourinho tactical sense where the team moves as a unit, therefore you don't need to work as hard individually. But they were found out this season. You need someone like that in the midfield who is just a charged up battery. Bang, 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 bang. Like an N'Golo Kante. If you get both of them, don't you dare for a minute think those two can't play well together. Or like two hard-working players. You take the talent that you can get. They will make bids for Kante. They will make bids for Nainggolan. Dimitri Payet. That will be a sore one for West Ham to take. But he's the talent that they need to just float in that number 10 role. To play alongside Hazard, because I wouldn't abandon Hazard yet either. He's showed that lease of life towards the end.
You know, Willian and Payet both like to kick free kicks into the back of the net every single frickin' time they do.
You've got
so you
versatility in that
terrifying.
I was tempted to say Pedro as well, to let him go. There was rumours that he might go back to Barcelona.
Back to Barcelona? Because when he came over, it was like there was an immediacy factor, scores like in his first like 2 or 3 games, and oh my God, Chelsea's back because of Pedro's here. I'm like, well, how could Barcelona ever release him? And then he kind of fell by the way. It was exactly the same as Memphis Depay, in my opinion, where
very similar.
he came in, and if you remember, a lot of the fans, Memphis scored in his first game, I think, or second game with Manchester United. Could he be as good as Wayne Rooney was in his prime for Manchester United?
Yeah. Fans
just jump the gun real quick.
Fans cling on to any sense of.
Could he be the new number 10
figures.
Could Pedro be the new number 10 for Chelsea?
Pedro is
too much.
Pedro, I think if he was to make that move to the Premier League, he would have had to done it 4 or 5 years ago in order to adapt in his prime, because the Premier League is so physical compared to La Liga. Not saying it's better, it's just a completely different realm. I don't think that if Neymar was to come into the Premier League, even at this point, I don't think he'd be an immediate hit. It's just such a different level of intensity. You get an N'Golo Kante just crushing your ankles non-stop. That's not saying that I don't think Neymar could play in the Premier League. But Neymar, give him a year probably or so.
Well, delusional Arsene and delusional Brendan and all the delusional managers in the Premier League would probably be like, well, we don't really need Neymar. Doesn't fit philosophically into our system.
Well, that's the hottest rumor this summer, is that Neymar, Barcelona can't contain
afford
all these big names. Is that the money's finally piling up with the new stadium, so Manchester United are looking at Neymar as long as everyone else. But as for Chelsea, those are the guys. The final one there was Cresswell, because I think they need a new fullback. He's proven himself, so sorry West Ham fans if it seems like I'm raiding your team here, but it does happen when you have a successful season, is these teams will be hit. Mahrez could be another one as well, but if Chelsea get a Kante and maybe a Morata up there along with the centre-back, maybe a Varane, maybe someone in there, watch out for Chelsea, watch out for Conte, and that's why next season, watch out for the Premier League, because this Leicester season was a humongous wake-up call in the form of a smooth-talking Italian, Claudio Ranieri, saying, this is all it takes. Why are you guys overthinking things? You could just stay home, go to the Premier League, and buy some of the players in there that have proven it. Don't worry so much about the Champions League. It will come naturally. And maybe, people will go in and start raiding fellow Premier League teams again. And you never know. We'll see what happens. These are the players that I thought Chelsea should get rid of. Do you agree or disagree? That is all I want to know in the comment section below. Jason Rubin 91, Twitter, Francis_Maxwell. Goodbye again, and there was who supports.
Let's look. Oh, wow.
He was acceptable amidst your media.